Good evening and welcome. Who will be the next VP? At least 50% of that question has been answered, with the NDA putting out their choice for the vice presidential candidate. It is CP Radhakrishnan, a dyed-in-the-wool Bharatiya Janata Party Jan Sangh Karyakarta who won the Lok Sabha of Coimbatore in Tamil Nadu twice, has been the president of the BJP in Tamil Nadu, is seen as somebody who is mild-mannered, has good relations across the aisle with the opposition parties as well, is serving currently as the Maharashtra governor. Before that, he was the governor of Jharkhand. Remember, interestingly, in the 2024 election, all eyes were whether he is going to contest the Coimbatore elections again. It was only after Annamalai, K. Annamalai, the then president of the BJP in Tamil Nadu, was in fact declared the candidate. Mr. Radhakrishnan, being a thorough party man, decided to move on from the politics of Tamil Nadu and was then made the governor of Jharkhand at that point of time. So an important pick of the NDA. As I said, 50% of that question, who becomes the vice president, is answered. Ball now in the opposition's court of what they do. And this name, significantly from Tamil Nadu, of a senior leader, also puts the DMK part of the opposition alliance in a bind, whether to back somebody from Tamil Nadu for the second top job of the country, or will they force the India alliance into, putting up a candidate from southern India as well? I'm Ankit Tyagi. This is NDTV, where we broke the story. Let's listen in to J P Nadda, the BJP president, announcing the name of CP Radhakrishnan.
संसदीय बोर्ड की बैठक में जिसका नेतृत्व हमारे प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी की उपस्थिति में हुआ, उनके नेतृत्व में ये बैठक हुई। सभी पहलुओं पर चर्चा हुई और नामों पर विस्तृत रूप से जो पार्टी में एक्सरसाइज हुई थी, उन सारे एक्सरसाइज के बारे में डेलिब्रेशन हुआ, सभी के साथ चर्चा हुई, सुझाव मांगे गए और उसके बाद फिर ये तय हुआ कि हमारे उपराष्ट्रपति के प्रत्याशी के रूप में हमारे महाराष्ट्र के राज्यपाल श्री CP राधाकृष्णन जी, चंद्रपुरम पुन्नासामी राधाकृष्णन जी, उनको हम NDA का प्रत्याशी बनाएंगे और वो NDA के प्रत्याशी के रूप में रहेंगे।
All right, so this is the big story that we are tracking here on NDTV at this moment. Let me bring in my colleagues Vasudha Venugopal, who has been on top of the all the developments, the twists and the turns of the discussions which went behind picking up this name of CP Radhakrishnan. Sam Daniel, our Chennai Bureau Chief, knows the impact of this name, how it is going to be on the politics of Tamil Nadu. Thank you so much to both of you for being with us here. Vasudha, let me begin by asking you your top 5 reasons why CP Radhakrishnan is the choice of the vice presidential candidate.
Well, Ankit, the larger understanding is with the kind of numbers that the BJP and the NDA have right now in the Rajya Sabha, it is clear that they needed a person who can not really stoke tensions or intensify tensions, but they needed somebody who can help in sort of consensus building, and that's exactly why CP Radhakrishnan seems to have made the cut. If you look at his role as the governor, be it Maharashtra or be it Jharkhand, it has been marked by not confrontation. He has been largely a consensus builder, and Jharkhand especially is an opposition-ruled state. He has also worked in other states which are opposition-ruled, and he's a man who has not really created the kind of controversies that the BJP would like to avoid right now. Yes, of course, Mr. Dhankar was firepower, but this man, CP Radhakrishnan, is seen as largely a statesman who understands to work with dignity. He understands governance. He's also been somebody who's been part of the Jan Sangh since he was 17. I remember from 2004 to 2007 when he was the BJP president of Tamil Nadu, which also means that he's organizationally groomed, somebody who's been close to not just Atal Bihari Vajpayee and LK Advani, but also someone that the present leadership of the party trusts. He has not created controversies. At the same time, he has also picked issues. I remember one of his protests was on linking rivers and also untouchability, and also most importantly on common civil code. He actually grew in political prominence after Coimbatore blast, which was also seen as in some ways a landmark moment for the BJP, because that also created a sense of resonance for the BJP in that part part of Tamil Nadu, which is called Kongunadu or Western Tamil Nadu. He's been instrumental in the BJP growing in the state, one of the senior most leaders of the party, who made way for the second generation of the party, K. Annamalai and Vanati, to take over when he was shifted as the governor. But now when he comes back as the vice president, which is what might happen given the numbers are stacked in favor of the BJP and NDA, there is an expectation that he will create more consensus, he will reach out to the opposition, and he will run the Rajya Sabha in a way that creates no longer any controversy that we saw during Mr. Dhankar's time. Given that he is mild-mannered and is also seen as someone who's not sharply polarizing, it is possible that many of these opposition parties might still oppose him just because, he's the BJP or the NDA nominee. But to personally attack him also becomes more difficult, which is probably why the BJP has also chosen to field him.
All right, Sam, let me bring you in. This is going to be a very important decision for the DMK to take in the next couple of days. Because tomorrow, of course, the opposition is meeting to possibly decide their vice presidential candidate. If there is not another Tamilian, then the DMK risk, if they don't support CP Radhakrishnan, they risk seeing or at least being taunted for opposing somebody from Tamil Nadu for the second top job in the country.
It could be interesting, Ankit, because in a sense, CP Radhakrishnan becomes the third vice president from Tamil Nadu. The first president, Radhakrishnan, was actually a vice president. Later we had Venkatraman and then now CPR. And in that sense, while DMK has welcomed his choice, it will be interesting to watch whether they would choose to support him. Either way, the ruling DMK will be criticized if they support for having supported a BJP candidate, if they don't for having let down a Tamil Nadu candidate. But we'll have to wait and see whether the India bloc would nominate somebody from Tamil Nadu so that the DMK will not have that tight spot in that sense. But CPR is known to be someone who is moderate in his approach among other BJP leaders in Tamil Nadu, known for their extreme positions. He also has a very cordial relationship with the ruling DMK, particularly with Chief Minister M.K. Stalin, and also used to have a good rapport with his late father, late Chief Minister Karunanidhi. And in that sense, it will be interesting whether that will overweigh for the ruling DMK to support. But otherwise, in the context of the other criticism against the BJP, be it Hindi imposition, be it three-language policy, be it delimitation, be it withholding funds more than 2,000 crore rupees for not adopting the three-language policy, whether this kind of a symbolism by the BJP will it cut ties in Tamil Nadu, that's something we'll have to wait and watch. But certainly before the 2026 assembly elections, the BJP has so much to showcase in terms of how much of importance it gives for Tamil Nadu, particularly having chosen CPR as its vice presidential candidate. Will that be enough? That will be the big question.
Will that be enough? That's a big question. The Prime Minister also has congratulated CP Radhakrishnan, for being picked as the candidate of the BJP and the NDA. In fact, the Prime Minister, and let me very quickly just quote to you. We'll just pull out that tweet of the Prime Minister, which he has put out, the post that he has put out on X, congratulating CP Radhakrishnan as the vice presidential, candidate. He has gone ahead and said, and I'm quoting him, reading him from his X post: at this moment in his long public life, CP Radhakrishnan has distinguished himself with his dedication, humility, and intellect during the various positions he has held. He has always focused on community service and empowering the marginalized. He has done extensive work on the grassroots in Tamil Nadu. I'm glad that the NDA family has decided to nominate him as the vice presidential candidate of our alliance. Prime Minister has put out another, a post on the X in which he has said CP Radhakrishnan has rich experience as member of parliament, as governor of various states. His parliamentary interventions were always incisive. During his, gubernatorial tenures, he focused on addressing challenges faced by common citizens. These experiences ensured he has vast knowledge of legislative and constitutional matters. I am confident he will be an inspiring vice president. So the Prime Minister, of course, giving his vote of thanks and to CP Radhakrishnan there, almost saying that it's a certainty as far as the vice presidential election is concerned, which is slated to be held on September 9th. Vasudha, in terms of a contest, the numbers are in favor of the NDA. Unless and until there is a compelling, surprising pick of the opposition, the match seems to be in favor of the NDA. But of course, sometimes the contests are also to make a big political message, and that is possibly what the opposition would be looking at.
Exactly, this reminds me of the 2014 contest between Venkaiah Naidu and, of course, Gopal Krishna Gandhi. The numbers were stacked in the favor of BJP NDA even then, but the opposition wanted to send out that message that it had put forward a cerebral candidate. And I remember the same thing played out even in 2019 with Jagdeep Dhankar versus Margaret Alva. And clearly that is something that's going to happen this time as well, Ankit. Last time, if you remember, in 2019, Jagdeep Dhankar won by 346 votes, and in 2014, Venkaiah Naidu won by almost 272 votes. So clearly, that's a huge number. This time, it's going to be slightly more tightly contested because the numbers aren't as huge for the BJP as we saw in 2014 and 2019. But even then, of the 786 odd MPs that they have, the BJP NDA has almost more than 140 MPs more than the opposition. It really crosses that 324 threshold that is needed. It also can bank on the support of the 18 BRS, BJD, and of course YSR CP MPs, which have actually voted in favor of the BJP in terms of legislative decisions. So clearly, when it comes to the numbers, the NDA seems to be comfortable. But yes, in terms of political messaging, the BJP has shown that CP Radhakrishnan is a statesman. He's not seen as someone who's polarizing, someone who's organizationally bred. This is, not just a message to the RSS, but also to the opposition that probably the NDA does not want a contest. But then this is a politically sensitive post. It's a constitutional post, but which has political ramifications. So clearly, we can expect a contest is what we understand. Tomorrow, the opposition meets, Ankit, and that's when we are expected to understand that the opposition could be deciding its strategy going forward.
Veera Raghav, a senior colleague, is also at this moment joining me on the broadcast from Bengaluru on this, Veera, interesting pick of the Bharatiya Janata Party, while many and in vain were possibly hoping that there will be a political messaging for Bihar. The messaging is actually for Tamil Nadu, for southern India. How do you see this playing out, especially in context of the Dravidian parties and possibly YRCP and other southern parties?
Two things here. Let's put this very clear. I just got off the call with a very senior DMK leader. Obviously, they don't want to go on record, but it's pretty clear that they are very clear that the question when I asked, will the DMK consider backing CP Radhakrishnan? The response to me was absolutely not. No question about it. CP Radhakrishnan did meet MK Stalin a few days ago. It was a public meeting. The CM's office had put out that photograph as well. So obviously, there were back channel talks that were on. Look, that's as far as the DMK stand is concerned. But this would also, let's not forget, Ankit, depend on what the opposition's going to choose for its candidate. What's the messaging from the opposition as well at that aspect? As Vasudha just pointed out, this is not a game of numbers. The DMK's numbers are not required for the NDA as far as these elections are concerned. But it's all about the optics and the political messaging. And I think it's important to understand that when the DMK opposes the candidate, and let's say the opposition puts a candidate from Bihar and the DMK opposes it, it would become an election plan to turn around and say that you keep saying anti-BJP, you keep saying anti-Modi, but at the end of the day, you're the one who's opposed a Tamil Nadu candidate to become vice president. I'm not sure it becomes a major electoral issue, but it has that symbolic relevance that's there to it. But for the moment, DMK leaders indicating very clearly that they're not it's impossible for them at this stage, given the kind of politics in the state, to back BJP.
Let me then ask you this. Does that mean, this could also mean that the DMK now within the opposition alliance pushing very hard for possibly a Tamilian versus Tamilian fight for the vice presidential election? Could there be a possibility of DMK wanting somebody else from the opposition, from Tamil Nadu, as the vice presidential pick?
Well, it's possible that they will bargain for it. It would make it a lot easier for them to deny the opposition candidate if it is another South Indian or a Tamil candidate who's been put up for the post, for the DMK specifically Tamil. But I think at the moment, the DMK, given that its situation there in Tamil Nadu, would not see this not backing of CP Radhakrishnan to become a major electoral issue in the state. However, we'll have to wait and see how this plays out. Obviously, several permutations and combinations will be at play. The larger opposition agenda would be, of course, something very different from the DMK's own agenda. We'll see how this plays out. But for the moment, the indications are that the DMK very, very unlikely to go with the BJP's choice of candidate. Instead, stick with opposition unity despite the regional impact and the regional sentiments.
Also, it is, like Veera was pointing out, Sam, that it is also at a time when the elections are next year. Whether it is going to have any electoral resonance as far as, an issue in Tamil Nadu is concerned, we don't know. But it also, in a way, somewhere solidifies the murmurs within the AIDMK and the BJP as well for their alliance, because we have been hearing a lot coming out from the AIDMK and the BJP as well, where some leaders of the AIDMK coming out and saying, yes, there is an alliance, but that doesn't mean that the BJP will have any say in the power sharing if they win the election. So somewhere trying to crease that out as well with this, name being sprung up by the BJP. Sam?
Politically, for them, it will help certainly, because CP Radhakrishnan comes from Coimbatore, a stronghold of the AIADMK, a key ally for the BJP in Tamil Nadu, where BJP also has comparatively a stronger presence compared to its presence elsewhere in the state. And this messaging that the BJP has chosen someone from the western part of Tamil Nadu, Coimbatore in particular, could go well for both the AIADMK and the BJP there. But in terms of the other differences, that's a separate issue. We'll have to wait and see how that pans out in terms of the demands from the BJP for share in power and the AIADMK strongly denying that. But for the DMK, that's something we'll have to wait and watch. As Veera said, at the moment they have clearly said no, and this will not become a poll issue. The DMK will still turn around the BJP and rake up issues like the Hindi imposition, the three-language formula, the delimitation, the withholding of funds for Tamil Nadu, and a few other issues which they are trying to make it into a strong poll narrative before the 2026 assembly elections in the state.
Veera, you wanted to come in. Go ahead.
Ankit, I just want to add that let's not forget that the post of vice president, today the central government in the presidential reference on the governor's powers has told the Supreme Court that the governor cannot be considered some kind of a puppet post office. That's the center's argument as far as the presidential reference. Let's not see this purely from an electoral political point of view. There's a larger messaging as well. When you have a vice president from Tamil Nadu and you have a governor, and given the kind of situation that you have, there are constitutional confrontations also that plays out. And I think there's also a larger symbolic messaging that comes out, apart from what Sam is saying, which is very important about the western region of influence in Coimbatore and CP Radhakrishnan being one of the few BJP MPs who's won, obviously, with allies, once with the AIDMK, once with the DMK in 99 and 98. But, the fact is that apart from that narrow messaging as far as Western Tamil Nadu is concerned, there's a larger political messaging in the context of the attack on the BJP being anti-Tamil, saying that, look, we're the party which is projecting a vice presidential candidate. So the undercurrents will be played out very, very seriously, and I think the DMK will watch out for it.
It is also somewhere an acknowledgement that the sentiment that the DMK is trying to whip up in the state of Tamil Nadu, with the BJP being anti-Hindi, anti-federal, and so on and so forth, the BJP is also trying to be in a damage control mode, that all that they are saying, but look, we are giving you the vice presidential candidate.
Let's not forget, APJ Abdul Kalam was the choice of the BJP to become president of India, and APJ Abdul Kalam was possibly the most celebrated Tamilian.
Absolutely. Stay on with me. Gentlemen, I request you to stay on with me. Vasudha, let me bring you in at this moment very quickly, because this also comes at the back of what we saw. A surprise, resignation of Mr. Dhankar, who was being accused by the opposition as being one of the most partisan chairmen as the Rajya Sabha is concerned. And then, of course, he has been absolutely silent. There have been critiques within the Bharatiya Janata Party, those who have been speaking about, Mr. Dhankar not being from the RSS BJP lineage. And then, of course, there was added pressure to pick somebody up who shares the ideology, who's committed to the ideology. Vasudha, before you answer that, Home Minister Amit Shah has put out his congratulatory post to Mr. Radhakrishnan at this moment. On X, he has in fact congratulated Mr. Radhakrishnan and has said that his experience would be of great value in the Rajya Sabha as well. Vasudha, go ahead, with this comparison of how from somebody who was seen as an outsider to be picked up for the vice presidential post to somebody now who's seen as completely dyed in the wool.
That's right, Ankit, and I know you would agree with me when I say that Jagdeep Dhankar's choice was more a tactical choice because the Jats, there was a sense that the Jats were very angry and upset with the BJP, and Jagdeep Dhankar's choice was also to send out a message that they are rewarding a person who took on the TMC, an opposition party in the state of Bengal, very crucial for the BJP, and also somebody who understood, constitutional values, who was a legal expert, and more importantly was a Jat. But clearly, CP Radhakrishnan's candidature is very different. It in some ways reflects the strategy of the BJP in controlling damage, and like you rightly said, also selecting somebody who understands the working of the BJP RSS. He joined the Jan Sangh at a very young age.
I'm sorry, I'm interrupting you here. Just stay on with me. Khushbu Sundar, actor, member of the Bharatiya Janata Party, and leader of the BJP, is joining us at this moment. Ma'am, thank you for speaking to NDTV. Let me begin by asking you, your reaction to Mr. CP Radhakrishnan's being candidature as the vice presidential pick. Somebody from Tamil Nadu, somebody from south of India, getting a shot at the second top job in the country at this moment.
Absolutely thrilled. Many congratulations to CPR, sir. I think we can't have a better choice than him. When he was a party leader here in Tamil Nadu and when he was also the governor, we have seen how efficiently he has worked. He has been a very, very loyal member of the party, and he has always worked in the interest of the nation. So I think it's extremely important that a very experienced and well-known person like CPR sir has been the candidate of BJP as the vice president in Rajya Sabha. We can't ask for anything better than this.
Expect, hope that the DMK would also put their weight behind this. It is also people looking at it of BJP trying to put the DMK in a bind of supporting, of putting their weight behind somebody from Tamil Nadu for the vice presidential job.
Sorry, come again?
Would you expect the DMK also to put their weight behind Mr. Radhakrishnan, because it is also being seen as BJP's move to try not only to send a message for the upcoming elections of Tamil Nadu, but also put DMK in a spot of bother to support if they oppose somebody from Tamil Nadu as being seen as, the hindrance in putting somebody for the second top job?
No, I'm not going to even look at DMK and what they think, because their thinking is always different, and the thinking is never in the lines of the nation, what is good for the nation. It's always been like what is good for them, myself. But I think people of Tamil Nadu are very clear, and this is not because of the election. You don't change the vice president of the nation according to the elections of the country. But I think it's important to understand that at this moment, after Dhankar sir had resigned, we needed someone in that position, in that chair, who understands the dynamics of Indian politics, who understands the constituency and the constitution of India, and who also understands that what is needed to be there in that chair and how to convey the message across the nation and to the political party representatives in the Rajya Sabha. So I don't think DMK is going to oppose, but even if they oppose, I don't see, it won't come as a surprise to me if they do it. I don't think that anybody from South would want to oppose this and say that we don't want CPR, because he cuts across the party lines and he has a very, very good equation and reputation with the other party members as well.
Ma'am, before I let you go, let me ask you in conclusion, you are the Vice President of the Bharatiya Janata Party in the state of Tamil Nadu. The DMK has been running a campaign which paints your party as against the interest of Tamil Nadu and against Tamilians. Does this help the BJP counter that narrative?
No, definitely not. This has nothing to do with what people of Tamil Nadu think or what the DMK thinks about us. People of Tamil Nadu are very clear. When the Prime Minister can win the third time and be the most loved global leader in the world today, people of Tamil Nadu are ready to bring in the change, and it's a challenge to DMK to stop us if they can. And the coming elections, they're going to see a major change and a shift in the voting pattern and the way people think about the Dravidian parties here.
Thank you so much, Khushbu Sundar, for joining us with your views on this. Veera, of course, for a politician, it becomes difficult. They have to skirt those lines because the vice president candidature is been seen as, without any. All right, Sam is with me. I've just been told that we've lost that line with Veera Raghav. Sam. While Khushbu Sundar may or may not want to answer that, but we do understand politically how important this messaging is. With that, as we were discussing earlier, at least the attempt of the BJP would be to try and blunt this whole anti-Tamilian narrative that the DMK has weaved around them.
Certainly, they will certainly go to town with this, that they have elevated somebody from Tamil Nadu to the position of the vice president, demonstrating, as they would call, their love for Tamil Nadu and the party's commitment to help Tamils. But whether this would cut ice, that's something we'll have to wait and watch. But the ruling DMK and their allies have already set the narrative of targeting the BJP on issues of three-language formula, language Hindi imposition, the centre withholding funds for not adopting the three-language policy, on other issues of delimitation, and the centre not saying yes to exempt Tamil Nadu from NEET. These could be issues which require specific policy changes from the BJP. Whether this symbolism would really work, that's something we'll have to wait and watch. But certainly this has given ammunition for the BJP and the AIADMK to showcase that the BJP is committed to empowering, in a sense, people from Tamil Nadu.
Okay. Stay on with me, Sam. Let me very quickly also go across to Mr. Suman C. Raman, a noted political analyst, of course, for his expertise on southern Indian politics as well. So thank you for speaking to us. How do you see this playing out? I saw one of the posts that you have put out. How difficult do you think it is going to be for the DMK at this moment to not back CP Radhakrishnan?
I think it may not be as difficult for them to avoid backing him for a couple of reasons. One is, to be honest, the DMK's votes are not required by Mr. CP Radhakrishnan to win. I think that's a very crucial factor here. I mean, it's not that he is dependent on the DMK's vote for being elected. So in that sense, I think that it may be easier for the DMK to wriggle out. Remember, they did not back President Kalam. When he was up for a potential, re-election kind of thing. So I think that there is a situation here where the DMK can limit its damage by not being seen backing a Tamilian for the top job. They can get away with it. But I think very importantly, Mr. Radhakrishnan, is a person who has very few enemies across the political spectrum. Even the DMK, he's got very good equations at a personal level with the DMK.
Yes.
He is also from the RSS side. He's a hardcore RSS leader, having been in the RSS, been in the Jansangh. He was a state committee member of the Jansangh somewhere in the 1970s. So from that age, he is totally identified there. At the same time, he also has extensive business interests. So he is somebody who is sort of seen as the person who gets along with everybody else, irrespective of political.
But Mr. Raman, like you are saying, he doesn't need, or the NDA doesn't need the numbers from the opposition to make sure that their candidate wins. Numbers are stacked for them. 422 is where they are sitting at this moment for a majority of 394. So they are well over the majority mark as far as the vice presidential elections are concerned. But some fights are for important political messaging. While the numbers were, starkly against the opposition in 2014 and 19, they still contested. This time, the numbers are not that, starkly against. It will be a contest where it would not be as easy, or at least the numbers will tell a story that it was a close contest. In that sense, how important do you think it possibly could be for the DMK and the India Alliance to maybe put somebody else from South India as the opposition candidate?
In fact, that idea has already been circulating ever since Mr. CPR's name came out. We are already seeing a lot of buzz that probably the India Alliance will look for somebody, maybe even from Tamil Nadu itself, which would save the DMK the embarrassment of having to vote against a Tamilian. So they can say that, look, both are from Tamil Nadu, so we don't have a problem. Now that's point number one. The second point is also the fact that, I am a little surprised because Mr. CPR is a bit of, in some ways, a thinker and an intellectual. So I'm not very sure to what extent he would be, a typical kind of a rubber stamp, which is potentially what may have been one of the requirements for the job. And even during his stints as governor and so on, while he hasn't done anything to upset the apple cart, he is sort of emerged as somebody who can actually hold his own in the discussions that go on and so on. So I think that way I'm a little surprised. But having said that, I think from the NDA perspective, I think he's a powerful candidate. It's going to be almost certain that he will be elected.
It's very interesting what you are saying, that he has been a non-controversial governor in that sense. I mean, and given the background of Mr. Dhankar and the history that we have seen with him, controversial governor with West Bengal, coming as the vice president, an outsider from the BJP RSS system, and still getting the vice presidential post.
Radhakrishnan was in Jharkhand.
He was in Jharkhand. I agree, an opposition state, an opposition ruled state. So not many controversies coming out there. But now, if he becomes the vice president of India, a Tamilian, at a time when in Tamil Nadu, DMK is facing, and we have seen the relationship that they have with the governor, the Supreme Court also coming in and, saying a lot about how the governors and the president in terms of the bills and so on and so forth. Does it mean a double problem for the DMK? Or do you think that he is somebody who can build some sort of consensus?
Look, there is a very strong suspicion that between the DMK and the BJP, things are not as bad as they are sort of publicly made out to be. There is a clear belief that there is some kind of an understanding, which is why even today the BJP allows their former state president, Mr. Annamalai, to take potshots at their own party's alliance, with the AIADMK, which is why nothing has come of any raid that has happened in Tamil Nadu by the central agencies in the last 5 years. So I don't think people are that naive to believe that, the BJP and the DMK are at loggerheads. Perhaps it's part of some kind of an arrangement at the highest levels between the two parties. But I don't think that this is going to have a big political impact in terms of the assembly elections which come down the line. Even if the DMK votes against Mr. Radhakrishnan, I don't see it having a big negative impact for them in the assembly.
Like you are saying, I think it sometimes is very important in terms of the shadow boxing to clear your position for your voters, whether you have that kind of real enmity going on or not. Very quickly, in conclusion, let me ask you this. Like you are saying, it may not have a big impact on the fortunes of the BJP in the upcoming elections in the state of Tamil Nadu. But this whole narrative that the DMK has put out with imposition of Hindi, anti-federalism, and also on delimitation of BJP being anti-interest of Tamil Nadu, anti the people of Tamil Nadu. Does CP Radhakrishnan being projected by the BJP as the vice president, does it blunt that attack a bit?
It does, and I don't say that it will not have any positive impact for the BJP. It will. In the area around Coimbatore and what is called the Kongu region, western part of the state, where the BJP-AIADMK alliance is already very strong, this will help consolidate the votes more in their favor. But the problem is they need votes in the rest of the state, not just in the Kongu region. They're already quite strong there. And in Coimbatore, Mr. Radhakrishnan is a leader of some stature. So this will certainly help consolidate the votes in that part of the state alone. So to that extent, it will help. Beyond that, how it will play out, I'm not really sure at this point of time. But we've still got 7 months to go. And momentum can change, and anti-incumbency can increase over in the run-up to the elections. We'll have to wait and see.
Can I also ask you very quickly, before I go back to my colleague Sam Daniel, what kind of an impact do you see of this on the relationship between the AIADMK and the BJP? Because while we are talking about the DMK, it's not been a very smooth ride as far as the coalition between the AIADMK and the BJP has been, with voices, of difference coming out from various leaders, especially from the AIADMK. How do you see his candidature playing out there?
No, I think he has got a very good equation with the local AIADMK cadre And, both, not just in Coimbatore, but at the state level also, his relationship, he's got a very good relationship. So I don't see this having any, negative impact in any manner. Positive impact, yes, it will help, as I said, to consolidate the vote in the Kongu belt around Coimbatore. More importantly, I think the BJP can also do some soul searching, because most of the problems in the alliance have been caused by the BJP leaders, not the AIDMK leaders. That is the irony, which is why I keep saying there is still a lot of distrust or mistrust in the AIDMK about the real intentions of the BJP as far as the alliance is concerned, and what kind of an equation that they have with the DMK. I think every day some AIDMK leader or the other is articulating this privately, saying that, look, we don't know what their real game is as far as the alliance is concerned. So that is a problem. And I think the BJP, Mr. Radhakrishnan could be, of course, now he will be in an apolitical role, but symbolically, this move could help mend fences between the BJP and the AIDMK, at least, for public appearances.
Stay on with me at this moment. We are also being joined by Dr. R.K. Radhakrishnan, Senior Associate Editor of Frontline, who's joining us from Chennai at this moment. So thank you for speaking to us. Your first reaction to what you are hearing at this moment, C.K. Radhakrishnan being named as the Vice President candidate of the NDA. How do you see the impact of this, specifically speaking about the symbolism, optics and messaging on Tamil Nadu?
No, I welcome the candidature of Mr. C P Radhakrishnan. I'm very glad he is getting this opportunity to contest, and I'm very sure he will win. There is absolutely no doubt on any of those counts. And the fact that he has been a decent bloke, he's part of the old guard of the Tamil Nadu BJP, which does not believe in flashiness and trying to put down your contemporaries and your adversaries, and at the same time building bridges wherever a bridge can be built. He's in the Vajpayee mold of the BJP, like L. Ganeshan and Pon Radhakrishnan were. Having said that, he met Mr. M.K. Stalin on August 11th, and obviously he has told that he has been approached to contest as Vice President. But unfortunately, the DMK is not in a position to support the BJP in this endeavor, or C.P. Radhakrishnan's endeavor, purely for the simple reason that C.P. Radhakrishnan's candidate as Vice President will be used by the BJP to further its agenda in Tamil Nadu with the ADMK-BJP alliance.
Do you also see, sir, it as a big problem? I mean, a clever move by the BJP to put DMK in a bind, or in a spot at least?
No, I think it's a very clever move on the part of the BJP, absolutely yes, but it does not put the DMK in a bind at all, for the simple reason that if the DMK does not support CPR or has any second option in that regard, it is very clear that then the DMK would be in a very in a spot of bother. But it is very clear that DMK is an extremely confident and an extremely critical ally of the India Alliance. And given that fact, and the India Alliance discussions have been going on with respect to an NDA candidate, the Vice President candidate of its own, it is very clear that they've already decided on a candidate. They're just waiting for an announcement to be made. So yes, extremely clever strategy on the part of the BJP, as we have seen always. I mean, the BJP strategies have always been brilliant when it comes to elections, when it comes to candidature and all of that, including President Draupadi Murmu and all of that. So every single point we have seen that BJP applies its mind, and BJP puts forth one of the best candidates wherever possible, including Abdul Kalam, I would say. So all these years we have seen the BJP strategies, and the fact happens to be that the DMK is unfortunately not in a position to project CPR or even support CPR.
Right. Can I request you to stay on with me at this moment? Let me very quickly also bring out and play out for our viewers the reaction my colleague Veera Raghav was able to pick up from the AIDMK.
What's your initial reaction to the choice of C.P. Radhakrishnan for the post of Vice President as an ally of the BJP?
Glad and happy, elated that son of the soil, particularly from my place, has been chosen to be the Vice President of this nation. On the other side, it's a clever and a good strategic move by BJP, who is our ally. why it is a clever and a strategic move is, the first thing is this shows the inclusive attitude of BJP. It started from our Honorable President Draupadi Murmu from Orissa, which was looked as a gateway for BJP for the southern. But however, this clearly indicates the inclusivity of BJP with respect to the representation of someone pan-India.
Do you believe
this will
that?
Definitely.
Sorry, do you believe that this will really change electoral realities in Tamil Nadu? The DMK doesn't seem very enthused by this choice. It's unlikely to support.
I would say that this is another way of giving a checkmate to those people who try to play the part of divisive politics, peddling fake narratives. So this will help to counter them as well. So somebody at the helm of affairs will have more access to realities and information which can be shared, which will definitely test the fake narrative and fake news peddlers from the DMK, particularly from the opposition.
All right. Thank you, Mr.
This is a strategic and a clever move, I would say.
Strategic and a clever move, you say. Thank you very
Yes.
much, Mr. Kovai Satyam, for speaking to us.
Thank you, Raghu. Bye.
All right, very important announcement there at this moment coming in from the Bharatiya Janata Party. This is now, of course, all eyes would be on what the opposition does with respect to this. Sumansi Raman, let me bring you in. We've been talking about what the BJP has done. Let's have shift focus to what now. What could be a counter reaction from the opposition? It will be important to see. Even if they want to make it a contest, of course, there will be, like I said, some battles not to win or lose, but also to send an important political message. What could that message be? Where do you see that, opposition candidate coming from?
Look, I think the opposition, now that the NDA has named its candidate, they have the choice of doing two things. One is to, go for somebody from Andhra Pradesh and potentially see how Mr. Naidu reacts to that, and whether he's, but the point really is, I don't think the NDA is really going to struggle to get past the line. This seems to be they seem to be pretty comfortable at this stage. But I cannot honestly see a drastic fight or a very narrow contest emerging in this. The India Alliance will put up a candidate. There will be a fight just to say that we were there, and also to try to force parties into taking positions once again, especially those who are not as tightly aligned to the NDA as some of the others. So I think that would be done. The point is, who would be the candidate is really anybody's guess. And my gut feel is, now that you've got one candidate from the south, if you really want to set the cat among the pigeons, maybe come back with a counter candidate also from the south and force people to take sides. I think that may be one option, but it's not necessarily the best option. I think people need to think through this in more detail. My perception, I think, is there will be a contest. Mr. Radhakrishnan will win, and that will be the end of that. And I don't honestly believe that this will have any major political impact electorally, either in Tamil Nadu or in the rest of the country.
Thank you for joining us with all those details and your views on this very important story. Always a pleasure. Thank you so much, Dr. Radhakrishnan, for also being with us at this moment. With that, we are slipping into a very short break. Coming back with much more on the other side. Stay tuned with NDTV.